Joining us now to discuss this is John Lott, president of the Crime Prevention Research Center and author of the book Gun Control Myths. John, thank you for joining us as always. So, as we just heard, serious crime is falling massively in DC, and we have a recent clip here of President Trump addressing crime in DC. Just take a look.
So it's not that complex. We moved 2,000 people out of Washington. We brought them back to their countries where they came from. They came through open borders by sleepy Joe Biden. And I will tell you, Washington is safe.
So, John, I want to ask you, how much do illegal immigrants actually contribute to America's crime rate?
I think it's substantial. They commit crime at a much, much higher rate than American natives do, or even legal immigrants. There's recent data from New York State, for example, that shows that they make up at least 14% of the incarcerated population there. And that's about 3.5 times higher than their share of the overall population. So they greatly overrepresent that. But it's not just the illegals that you've deported who have criminal records, and about 70% of those who have been deported had criminal records either in the United States or in their home countries. But even the ones that you haven't caught don't want to be deported. And they know that if they get caught by the police, when they get arraigned, they're very likely to be picked up by ICE in most parts of the country and deported at that point. So the way that they keep from being deported is to keep off of police radar. And the way you keep off of police radar is not to commit crime. So it's not just removing the ones who have criminal records that you've caught, but also discouraging the other ones from going and committing crime right now.
Right, that is a very good point there, John. I'm wondering if other factors are at play other than illegal criminals,
Sure.
illegal immigrants.
Yeah, sure. Look, this isn't rocket science. If you want to reduce crime, you have to make it riskier for criminals to commit crime. That means higher arrest rates, higher conviction rates, longer prison sentences. It also means that you let victims be able to go and defend themselves. And in DC, they've done all those things. Obviously, with more law enforcement boots on the ground, you've had increases in arrests. You've taken criminals off the street, not just illegal alien criminals. And now, under Judge Jeanine Pirro, who's the U.S. attorney for D.C., they're seriously going after criminals and prosecuting them and sending them to real prison terms. You know, under Biden, the U.S. attorney there, he refused to prosecute something like 2/3 of the criminals that were caught by police during 2022, and about 56% he refused to prosecute during 2023. So this is a dramatic change. But all those things matter, and the Trump administration has also made it easier for people to go and get concealed carry permits in D.C. Before it was taking 8 months or so to go through the process to get a permit. Now it's 2 weeks.
So, John, I saw a study by the Council on Criminal Justice saying that murders fell by 20% nationally. And this might be the lowest murder rate in the U.S. since 1900. So everything you've said so far, does that apply to the national situation as well behind this falling murder rate across the country?
Yeah, no, look, when they say 1900, we don't have crime data before that in any way. Even some of the data back at that point was kind of sketchy in terms of how it was recorded. But look, we had the largest percentage drop, it looks like, in murder rates this last year. And it's very likely that we'll have the lowest murder rate ever recorded in U.S. history. That's startling. And there are lots of things that are going on. You have, obviously, illegal aliens have been picked up. Yeah, I mean, just compare it to the Biden administration. The Bureau of Justice Statistics shows that for serious violent crime, rape, robbery, and aggravated assault, we had a 59% increase during the Biden administration. That was by far the largest percentage increase in that violent crime that we've ever seen since they've been recording that data. And it's not coincidence to me that we had that huge increase in violent crime at the same time we had this record increase in illegal aliens coming into the country. And so now that we're deporting them, we're seeing a drop in violent crime. I don't think those are by accident, but obviously other things are happening. You've removed George Soros district attorneys in San Francisco and Los Angeles. You have U.S. attorneys across the country who are prosecuting criminals much more seriously. We've seen a big increase in gun ownership. All those things matter in terms of reducing crime.
So, in terms of President Trump's policies, would you characterize it as his policies in D.C. having an influence on policing in other cities? Would you characterize it as that?
Well, I mean, obviously, he's directly been involved in Memphis. They've had smaller scale actions in places from Portland to Chicago. Those things matter. I think before Trump went into D.C., Democrats from around the country were belittling it, saying that it would have no beneficial impact. Some were even claiming that it would be pernicious and actually cause more problems. But Trump essentially showed, look, what I think is pretty obvious, and that is if you make it riskier for criminals to go and commit crime, you're going to get less crime. And that's what we saw. And I hope people around the country, when mayors and others have said, look, there's nothing that we can do about crime, they say, look, you can do something. You can actually let the police do their job. You can let the police go and arrest people, and you can have prosecutors that actually put criminals in jail. All those things matter.
Okay, just final question, John. Do you think there's more that can be done? Do you think there's some area that needs more improvement to drive crime even lower across the nation?
Well, look, ICE has had an incredibly difficult job to go and detain illegal aliens. They've done really an amazing job with the limited resources that they've had, and that you have many jurisdictions around the country in these sanctuary areas that are refusing to cooperate with them and make their job much more difficult than it has to be. I think if those things can change, we'll be even more successful in deporting these illegals that are in the country, and that will help further reduce crime.
Okay, John, really appreciate your comments today. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your time.